Um, he- um, Hello, good evening, everyone. I am Noreen Snyder, your host for Have a Chat with Poet Noreen, and tonight's guest is Huniie. She lives in the USA. Okay, I will read her bio to you. Okay, Huniie, whose real name is Holly Parker, grew up as a child that suffered extreme child abuse. From the age of 9 to 14, she was raped by both parents. Huniie was found to be pregnant by her father when, at the age of 14, she turned both parents in to keep her youngsters from going through what she had. Being now a ward of the state, they took the baby and she didn't find out about it until later as an adult. Huniie would go on to spend the next 3 years in foster care, going from foster home to foster home and even in some orphanages. She was moved from North Carolina to Virginia. While in one foster home, she was raped by the foster father. This set her up for a path of domestic abuse. As she went through 3 marriages, she experienced domestic violence on many levels, ranging from mental, emotional, spiritual, as well as Huniie has come out of her healing through helping others. Huniie has held many hands as they cry together, and some telling their stories for the first time. Huniie has a domestic violence organization called the Victory Walk that helps domestic violence victims and survivors. She has worked on different domestic violence projects over the past 30 years. Several years ago, she released an audio video called God No, I Screamed that deals with abuse she has went through. This audio video has helped others to be able to walk away from their situations and start new lives. She has released her self-help book, Unspoken Soul of Woman, where she shares many of her life stories, as well as using a parallel of a garden's growth to that of a woman. A new updated edition is to be released the beginning of 2023. Huniie has also done workshops with Unspoken Soul of Woman and witnessed women being delivered of lifelong pain associated with their abuse. Her first poetry book, No Longer a Slave, is, is stocked full of poems dealing with her life. Many have received deliverance, healing, and been able to deal with their issues reading both of these books. Huniie has been a speaker on many radio shows on Blog Talk Radio and Talk Show, sharing her story. The open this opened the door, giving her the chance to help others that had experienced such traumatic situations. She has also been interviewed by quite a few newspapers, and magazines, all sharing her story of from victim to victory. And now she is taking her walk of victory. Now, as a life coach and apostle, Huniie has been able to help those caught up in the web of trauma and abuse and can go on to take the victory walk and become victorious in their lives instead of being the victim. You can hear her on Wednesday and Sunday nights on Outworld Fleet Radio, sharing other poetry on her poetry show Poetic Expressions. Her e-zine, Hemming with Huniie, is due to be released between February and March of 2023. Huniie is also available for booking, for speaking, and interviewing. You can find her on most social media platforms. Okay, let's give let's give a warm welcome to our guest, Huniie. Good evening, Huniie, and welcome to Have a Chat with Poet Noreen. It's an honor to have you on here. And how are you doing, Huniie?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you real good. Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay. And how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you here. Okay. And how? Okay. First of all, and to tell more, I know I already said some of your bio. You know, anything else you want to add to it?
I don't want to get too deep with that because,
Okay.
sometimes children are watching or listening
Oh,
with
yes.
some of those things. Just know that Um,
Mhm.
a lot of the information, if you want more, you can catch me on the social medias, and they do have a lot of information out there concerning those the issues.
Mhm. Okay, okay, and okay. How did you get started in writing poetry?
It goes back to me as a teenager, as I was going through those things that you talked about. In my bio, I didn't have anyone to talk to, so I started writing how I felt out in my poems. Actually, a teacher challenged me to write, and that's how I
Wow.
got started.
Okay. And do you remember what the first poem you wrote?
The carrot, but I don't remember what it was. I just remember the title.
Okay, okay, and okay, and tell them more about your projects. You know, your walk for victory.
I have so many projects. The Walk of Victory goes back to, like you were saying, the domestic violence. It doesn't just affect the individual, the adult, it affects the children as well. And with the Victory Walk, we help the whole family that is coming out of that situation, not the abuser, but those that have been abused. And a lot of times, when you're leaving those situations, you don't know who to turn to. Your mind is all over the place. You know, how am I going to do this? A lot of times they're not able to bring stuff with them. If they are, it's a very minimum. So we put together actually um, little bags for the parent. It's not always a woman, it could be sometimes a man. And I know that a lot of times society doesn't want to accept that men can be abused, but it is very true they can. And also for the children, you know, whether it's an infant all the way up to teenagers, and male, female, they have, according to the age, different things go into these little bags. And so we find these families, sometimes they're referred to us, and we just help them with the things that, you know, just sometimes a coloring book for a child is therapeutic. Now, just to be able to sit there and then, you know, color can help someone to calm down. So those are things that we put in these little bags, just a little lightweight string nylon bags that you stick on the back, you know, is usually what
Yes.
we work with, something lightweight. Um, and we put essentials in there, of course, you know, a mama running for her and her children's lives don't always remember to grab toothbrushes, you know, for everybody, going in the rooms and trying to find everybody's deodorant, you know, and stuff, you know, personal items as well as little toy, you know, something that a child can sit with and hold and play, you know, because sometimes when they're going places, they don't always have room to get down on the floor and play type of thing. So we just do different things like that. Personal items, little things that can encourage them, little, excuse me, booklets. And that's why I've been reaching out to the poetic community to see if any poets would actually be interested in donating some copies of their books and everything. A lot of times we write stuff that other people that we don't realize is encouraging to someone else. So that's the things that we're working with. Not just for them to be able to go into a shelter, because sometimes and the shelters are doing the best that they can, but
Right.
when you have to go in at a certain time at night, and then you have to leave out by a certain time the next day and take these children, you know, it's not always a, you know, a fun thing. In the summer, you know, you got to leave out with you and the kids early in the morning, be gone all day, and you're already coming out of a very stressful, dangerous situation, stressful mentally, emotionally, as well as physically. Not just you, but the children, you know. And now I got to figure out where my children will be at all day, while I'm looking for a job or I'm trying to stay out of danger. So sometimes we try to help them find other accommodations. Um, my goal with this is to be able to have actually homes that we can put them in. So all of those things are in the works per se.
And if any individual wants to donate, can somebody donate? An individual
Yes,
donate to you all? And if so, how can they donate?
actually, I have a website for the Victory Walk, and
Mhm.
you can find all my information actually, and I'll be posting it on my Facebook profile page, or you can find all the links of where you can donate. But you can go through, yeah, it's called the Victory Walk, and I have that website, and I will share that actually in the poetry group and on my personal page, which is Huniie.
Okay, okay, okay. And what other uh projects are you working on?
Oh, I've got so many.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm, mhm.
I'm actually getting ready to release uh, 5 magazines. At
Mm,
the beginning of the year, one is it's no longer going to be Hanging with Honey. I'm going back to the original Hang for Hangout for Artists, and then that's the adult one. Then I have the one for the kids and teenagers, which is called Hangout for Artists Junior.
yeah,
So we are taking submissions for all 5 of the magazines. Then I have one that's called Sisters for Sisters, which is simply for women that are in ministry. They have organizations, they have a business, just the business side of a woman.
yes,
Uh, if you have a book, a CD, any of that stuff, a lot of that is going to be involved in that. It's specifically for women. Then I have another one that is called the Victory Walk, which is going to be geared for people that are coming out of um, different situations, abusive situations and stuff. It's going to have a lot of encouraging stuff in there, resources, stories from people that have been through.
mhm,
Um, then I have Oasis Refuge that will be coming out, and that one is a Christian magazine. And then let's see, I'm trying to think, is there another one? Ooh, I feel like I'm missing one. But
mhm.
anyway, those are the ones that are coming out the beginning of next year. And then the radio show Poetic Expressions will hit
Yeah,
its 3-year mark on the 1st of March. We will have been on air for 3 years solid,
wow.
and we're always taking poetry submissions. And now I'm doing things a little bit different. So if you make beats and produce music, just the music, we're accepting, or I'm accepting submissions for those to be played on the radio show as well to complement our poets and spoken word artists. Then I have some more radio shows that are getting ready to come out after the first of the year as well, if not before. Sisters for Sisters, just like the magazine is going to be coming out, where we'll be interviewing women that have their own business, that uh, their own organization, ministry, have a book that is or a series, whatever is coming out. That business side of the women once again, and then Coffee will Honey will officially start up as well, where I'll be uh,
All
an
right.
early morning uh, radio show talking about different topics and things. And then let's see, another radio show. I haven't picked on which name for that one yet. Where it'll be more of an inspirational type of show. So I have a lot going on. That
Wow.
plus my businesses are picking up as well. Um, my blast
That,
are really getting out there. So I've got a lot going on.
wow. That is awesome. You're doing a really great job. And thank you, honey, for everything you're doing for all the poets and for the domestic survivors and the victims too. So thank you. You're doing
You're
you're doing
quite
so
welcome.
much. Thank you.
And we
Okay.
include a lot of the homeless in that too, because a lot of times when you're
Yes.
going through those situations, people end up on the streets trying to struggle to try to find out. Unfortunately, families lose the children and stuff like that. So we include the homeless. Matter of fact, that one is called Empowering Dynamic Families. So that's a totally different one. So we do a lot of the same type of bags, maybe just a little bit different, depending on the weather, because these people are outside actually in the weather.
Wow. Thank you for helping the homeless too. Okay. Mm, okay. And okay. Um. And what inspired you to write?
Just the fact, like I had said before, not having anyone to talk to. And then my 11th grade English teacher just kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. And I took what she was pushing me and the fact, like I said, I just didn't have anybody to talk to. So the pen and the paper became um, who I spoke with.
Mhm. Okay. My brother's here. Hello, Dickie. Welcome, welcome to the have a chat with poet Noreen and guest star Huniie. Thank you for being here. Okay,
Hmm.
okay, and okay, and you make products too to sell. Tell more them about your oils and your baskets. You
Um,
do your basket too, and
Actually, I do quite a few things. I have a line of oils called that are, I don't know how many people are familiar going to church and seeing the minister, the pastor, whomever anoint people when they go to pray for them. It's that type of oil, and I have a whole line of them, different smells, different size bottles, different types of bottles, and everything. Noreen has gotten some from me, and
mm,
they go to different people. Some of them are that's the one at the big spray bottle she's showing. I have
yes,
smaller spray bottles. I have the roll-on bottles in different sizes. I even have a special keychain that some of the bottles actually fit in, where you can put it on your in your keychain and put it actually attached to your
right
keychain.
here,
Exactly, and I have those in different colors. A lot of people were surprised when they saw those. I like to do things that are different. I
yes.
also am an abstract painter, so I customize abstract paintings.
Mhm.
Um, Usually, the people give me 3 to 4 colors at the most. I haven't had anybody give me more than that. That I think would probably be a little more challenging, but hey. I also do gift baskets. I customize the gift baskets once again. Everything I do, basically, I customize around the person. Then I also have, and I don't have any on me, I need to start wearing some jewelry, and I make keychains as well. And
Right here. Mhm. That's one of
yes,
them.
she has one of bracelets. Yeah, that was actually one of the first ones I did. God showed me that one in a dream. That's what started me doing the jewelry.
Yes, and you have a unique way of creating everything. Tell everyone how you know what you do before you start creating it. That you pray to God. Tell them.
I do. I pray. God shows me how to do everything. I pray over everything that I make. But my prayers are customized around the person that I'm making that product for, because I feel like that it can change the very atmosphere of where it goes into a person's home and everything. So a lot of my stuff is geared around God and customization.
Okay, and and what is your favorite topic to write about?
Oh, I don't actually have a favorite topic.
Okay. Okay.
I'm more of an emotionalist. Uh,
Mhm.
you, it's more what I'm feeling is what I write,
Yes.
more so than what I'm thinking.
And you would you like to share? We'll share some poetry before I ask any more questions. In the
Sure.
meantime, anybody else have any questions? Write it on, type it on the in the comments, and then we can both can see it, and she will answer you. Okay,
Sure. Let me grab up a piece
okay,
here.
okay. Mhm.
Okay. Can you still see me?
Yes, I can still see you. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
This one's called Forgotten Dreams and Hidden Visions.
Hmm.
I forgot my dreams while hiding my visions, running, trying to help another with theirs. Once they drained my energy, I now became the enemy, not realizing my anointing was going to uncover, claiming to be a child of the king. While all the time they were plotting, I kept pushing, praising my father, knowing he had it all in control. He shaped and molded me that the enemy meant for my bad, he turned for my good. Forgotten dreams and visions, or so it seemed, not realizing God was using the situation to train me. While souls were being set free, I struggled, sometimes just to get out of bed, other times just to raise my head, knowing once I walked out that door, attacks would come from north, south, east, and west, but not realizing God was setting me up. The more they came to attack, even more came to defend. Those of the world stood by my side and had my back, testifying of my good works. Now I know what the world means when it says, "Let your works speak for you." Now I see a new door I'm about to walk in, realizing my dreams weren't forgotten and my visions weren't hidden. I just had some training to go through on a much higher level. My words to you is never ever forget your dreams or hide your visions, no matter your situation or age. It's all in God's timing.
Wow, wow. That is an awesome poem and powerful.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank
Um,
you.
so you're very welcome. Do you have another poem you want to share with us?
I can share one more. Hold on. That was a newer one. This one is a
Okay.
little older. It's called "Is It Time for an Oil Change?"
Okay.
Is it time for an oil change? How can I tell? If there's something wrong with my engine, is it making funny noises? Is it time for an oil change? How can I tell? Is my engine getting clogged with trash? Is the oil filter not working properly? Is it time for an oil change? How can I tell? Is the trash keeping the oil from flowing through, keeping my engine from having full power? Is it time for an oil change? How can I tell? Did I go to the right shop the last time? Did the right person change my oil? Is it time for an oil change? How can I tell? Does it put me in panic because my oil may be damaging my engine? Should I know the shop owner? Is it time for an oil change? How can I tell? What does my engine act like when its oil needs changing? How do I understand how to read my dipstick for my oil change? Is it time for an oil change? How can I tell?
Wow, I love that. Okay. Okay.
And it's actually not talking about a real engine needing an oil change. The oil
Talking
change is
about,
talking about me, myself.
yes. Okay.
It's a metaphor.
Wow. Okay. Can you? Okay. Thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Um. 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 Okay. You have been traumatized as a child. How was that affected your writing?
Most of my writing for years, that's what it dealt with, was that
Hmm.
pain
Hmm.
and that situation.
Hmm. And if someone is going through who is going through domestic violence right now, what advice would you give them?
Don't give up. Don't give up. I know they feel trapped. Um, some of them don't want to believe what other people are telling them. Sometimes the red flags, we don't want to see them ourselves. We want to, denial's a big part of it. Giving up is another big part of it. Different people react differently. So my answers actually would be kind of across the board because it depended on the situation and the individual person. I've learned that there is no one answer for everybody because everybody's situation is different, individuals are different. You know, don't give up. That's it. Don't give up. The biggest red flag is that they try to separate you from everybody and don't allow it.
Mhm. Yes.
Don't
Mhm.
allow it.
That's a great
You
advice.
just don't give up. It's not easy, Um, some abusers don't use physical abuse, they use mental and emotional abuse, which can scar worse at times than a physical scar. And
Hmm.
also, the mind games are there. They will try to separate you from everybody and don't allow
Hmm.
it and don't give up. There's always
Okay.
somebody that will listen.
Um, yes. And what motivates you and keeps you going?
Several things. God, number one, um, my grandbabies,
Yes.
and my grandbabies, and just the thought of helping others. I love helping other people.
Yes. And tell us more about poetic expressions and the Outworld Fleet radio station for the ones who may be out there who haven't heard of it, haven't heard about you. Tell us more
Okay,
about that.
Outworld Fleet Radio is actually not my radio station. It is owned by another gentleman that most of the time he does not like for his identity to be released. So without his permission, I don't want to release it. Um, and I'll bet I've known him 13, 14 years. And he came to me one day and asked me, would I be interested in doing a radio show on his station? Now, I was used to Blog Talk Radio and Talk Shoe where it's live and I,
Yes.
and all. The poets are hanging out with me. I'm getting feedback right then and there from the poets. Well, this was pre recorded, so it's a little different. And I didn't have that immediate feedback. I would have to do the radio show and then wait and see if people came to me to give me feedback.
Hmm.
Um, then I'm dealing with somebody else that's actually a program manager that, yayed or nayed or, and I'm like, all of this is new. And at first, the poetry community didn't grab onto it. And even now, people are like, where can they want to go listen to it when they want to listen to it? But it's just like
Right.
a real radio station. You go on the days that are slotted for that radio show, and if you don't catch it, you don't catch it.
Right.
So, but I like it because it gives the community poetry community an opportunity to share their work with an audience that they normally wouldn't be able to because it's not a poetry radio station. I just
Right.
happen to have a poetry show on a radio station. They
Yes.
do a lot of other types of stuff besides poetry. And it's just that we're the longest running radio show on that station.
Mhm. That is awesome. And you said that you're always looking for more more poets to turn in their work. And
Yes,
then uh,
I'm
uh,
I'm always taking poetry for the show because it's ongoing
right,
until I decide I don't want to do it anymore, um, and really mean it when I say that, which I don't see it happening. So I'm always looking to, excuse me, and receiving new submissions. The only thing
hmm,
people have to remember is there's no politics, um, and you have to remember it's a family friendly radio show. And I know nowadays people don't really understand that, and it's no cursing, no politics, no sex, no stuff you wouldn't want your little kids to run around here. Because even though we're coming on
right,
at 11 o'clock at night, not everybody's child is in the bed. Some people work during the day. Kids are up at night with them, or they sleep during the day, and then when the kids are up at night, whatever the case may be, teenagers listening to it. So we have to be mindful of
yes,
that. But other than that,
mhm.
open submissions all the time. And that information
And
is always on my Facebook page.
yes, and you're doing an awesome job. And you're such awesome, phenomenal host and a poet. And I want to was outstanding of each of you doing sort of great job. And I thank God too for choosing you to do the show. So
Thank you. And we're also looking for children to submit so that we can do some children's shows as well. I just haven't got maybe one or two children's, pieces. So,
yes. Mhm, mhm. That is awesome. Because the children is our the next generation.
hmm
Yes. Mhm.
exactly.
Yes. Yes. Mhm. How many books have you published, and where can that people buy them?
Where what? My
How
product,
many?
where can people buy them?
Yeah. Yes. And how many books have you published, and where
Oh,
can
my
they get?
books. Actually, I've taken my books down because something happened with the last time the publisher uh, um, worked with my books, and so they somehow got messed up. So I have to have them totally re-edited, which
Hmm.
is embarrassing because I've got books already out there that they did great, but somehow something happened with the last publisher I had, and they got messed up now. So they're actually down off the market for temporarily until I get this situation
Hmm.
fixed. And that's
And
three books.
okay, and where can they hear, listen to your poetry or read your poetry? What websites?
Oh gosh, I'm all over the internet. Actually, I have
Mm.
a store on, what is it, Kofi? Is that how it's pronounced? Ko Coffee Ko slash fi.com. That
Yes,
link is also on. Going to be all the links will be on my Facebook page, which is Honey Parker. And I'll be sharing it back and forth, you know, through out on my page where they can catch anything and everything on the oils, abstract paintings. I'm also a certified life coach, and I do one-on-one sessions. I do the group sessions so they can um, reach out and get a session, sign up for that there, as well as my all of my products they can catch there.
yes. Okay. And you have another poem you want to read to
I
us?
actually did not pull out another one. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Okay. Um, what is your favorite poem that you have? What's your favorite poem that you have written?
Uh, I actually don't have a favorite. I have a most popular by other people, but I really don't have a favorite one.
Okay. Um, and which do you prefer, a structured verse or a free verse? Both, and why?
Okay, I didn't understand that
Oh,
last question.
okay. Which do you prefer? A structured verse or free verse or both, and why?
I just write. I
Okay.
don't, get caught up in that. I know a lot of in the past, other poets used to get on me. You have to write at a certain time. You have to write. If you write a poem and don't rewrite it 10 times, it's not a good poem. You just scribble it. I mean, I don't get into a lot of that. That's why I say I'm an expressionist, is what they call it. I just express, and however it comes out, is how it comes out.
Mhm. Okay, that is awesome. Okay. Um, and what do you think is a major problem or issue in this world today? And do you have any resolutions?
There's so many, oh God, so many issues, so many problems. I think if everybody would take right there where they're at in their own community and work to help solve something in their own community,
Hmm.
it would help change the whole world, one community at a time.
Yes.
But unfortunately, we have become a society where we don't know our neighbors. We don't want to know who our neighbor is. We don't even want to say hi to our neighbor. We just want to go in our homes, out our homes to do what we got to do, and back in. And unfortunately, there's people living right beside us that are dying, and we're not even aware of it because we're not concerned about our community anymore. It's just this is a place I live, and don't nobody bother me, and I won't bother nobody else. If we start becoming a village again and doing our part for our village, I think that would help in a lot of ways to solve a lot of things.
Yes. I remember they did that back in the 60s. People cared. The neighbors got together, they helped, and anybody moved in, and they would bring gifts, gifts to them, a
I remember
welcome
that.
pack. Yes. That was
Yep.
the 50s. Yep.
I remember when you'd move into a house or an apartment or something, your neighbors would bring something over, to welcome you. Now it's peek through the blinds. Oh, that's our new neighbors. Close the blind. That's it.
Yes. Hmm. And in the meantime, anybody has any questions for honey? And if you do, write them, type them on the comments, and she will answer them. She'll be glad to. Okay. Mhm. This. Okay. Um. And and tell us more about the victory walk.
Oh, Lordy. The Victory Walk is actually um, a program, like I was saying before, to help those that are in domestic violence situations or coming out of domestic violence situations or have survived. And it's actually going to be program that is going to be put on, um, where um, it'll be a fashion show. Different artists will be involved, and it's something that everybody around the world that wants to connect to it and get involved will be able to, even right there in your own neighborhood. So it does have its own website. More information will be coming out soon about that.
Okay,
Hopefully, the next year we'll be able to do it for
okay. That is
what is it,
awesome.
Domestic Violence Month.
Okay. And what when is that? What month is that? The domestic
That's in October.
October. Okay. Okay. And besides them three books, you're gonna you have to redo. Are you planning on doing any more future books? You need
Yes, I am.
to. Oh yes,
Yes, I am.
I'm glad to hear that. Yes. And if y'all never haven't read her poetry, well, you all heard her reading reciting her two poems. You can go on Reverb Nation and on N1M and hear her recite her poetry, and she's a outstanding. I give her outstanding ovation, a poet. So thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Um,
If they want to hear more of my work, they can go to Reverb Nation and search Honey. Or and then there's another website called Number One Music. It's N1M, and here's some. And then I'm also on YouTube. All you have to do is search Honey, and that's
okay.
Huniie.
Right. Okay. Okay. And okay. And okay. I didn't realize like some of these questions I have here is a repeat of, I put it down as a repeat. I didn't realize that I should put it a different way. So,
That's fine.
okay. And tell them more about you being a life coach, and what relation and what you more about your life coaching.
I decided to become a life coach because when I was coming along trying to do what I was doing, I didn't have anybody there that would share resources, that would sort of kind of lead and guide me. And since I've become a life coach, I did not realize how many people, even people with 4 and 6 year degrees, that did not know that there actually was a difference between goals and tasks. So I have a whole program workshop that I actually work with people dealing with the difference in your task and your goals and how to set those up. Then I noticed that a lot of people just struggled with their everyday knowing, from day to day what their goals are. Um,
Mhm.
I got high kudos when I was doing it, and I know everybody hates telemarketers, but years ago I worked as a telemarketer, and I came in not knowing how or what I was doing, but every day I made a goal, and every day I superseded my goal, and they couldn't understand how I was doing so good, even better than some that had been doing it for years. And I showed them what I did. I made some goals every day. And so they started implementing that into their program, knowing that our goals may not be met when we want them to, and things may come along and change and everything, but it gives us a plan, it gives us a direction. And a lot of times, that's all some of us need is just a direction and a cheerleader. But the biggest thing I learned in my training to become a life coach is that most people do not want you to tell them what to do. They just need an ear, somebody to listen. So that's the most, and I was somebody that I felt people that listened to me. So I wanted to be that person that listened to other people. And I just love helping people. So that's one reason I became a life coach.
That is awesome. And if they need somebody needs life coaching. Can they come to you? What will
Yes.
get in touch with you?
Once again, it is on my store where you can go and retain me for a session. And if you're on any of the social medias, I've had clients that just messaged me and asked me. I've had people to put it in my comments, can you be my life coach? So all you have to do is just reach out to me.
Yes. Okay. And can and if they want customized baskets or what else you do? Okay, what you put in your baskets and what can they um
That's the thing. The word customized. It's made
okay,
around the individual. So,
okay,
two people can come and say, I want a blue basket, but those blue baskets may look nothing alike because one person wanted this and another person. I don't, okay. With me, with the customized gift baskets, the reason I started doing them is because as a woman, for Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, whatever, I don't want to stand there beside another woman and we both get the same exact thing. To me, that means or shows that the individual didn't put any time or thought into what they were getting me. I got the same card, the same balloons, the same whatever as everybody else. So when you make a basket around that person, it makes them feel more special.
yes, I agree. Okay, and they can come to you if they want customized baskets.
Hmm.
You do it for all year round.
Yes, I don't say I do them for all occasions. I do most occasions because it may be something that I do not do alcohol, tobacco of any kind of smoking or anything like that,
Okay,
But the best bet is just to come to me and talk to me.
yes, okay, okay, and what other projects are you planning on
I'm
besides the
not
one you
giving.
mentioned?
I don't. You want me to give all my secrets away?
Oh no, no,
No, I'm teasing.
no.
I
Okay,
do have quite a few more things that are under my wing, under my hair, because I don't have a hat on. But some of those things will
oh,
be released next year, and I'm not ready to release the ins and outs of those yet.
okay, okay. Look like you're really busy and you're doing a lot. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I recommend you for all you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
And thank you
And
for
and
giving me the chance to come and share.
yes, very well. And thank you for coming on here tonight. Okay.
I
And
enjoyed
for
it
the
always.
ones that who okay. And for the ones who didn't know, well, we tried it last month, but we had technical difficulties and we had to move it up to right now tonight. So difficulties with Facebook. But
Hmm. Excuse me.
okay. Um, and you all are you also oh what's the word spoken word artist too. And
Right. But a lot of people say it's just poetry. So, but yes, I am a
yes,
spoken word artist.
okay. And do you write poetry? You know, when somebody gives you do you do what you call it I heard people doing that, but I never could. But you know, they can think of poetry off their head on stage. Have you ever done that?
Yes, I freestyle. I
Wow.
have some of my pieces that I told them where they could go and listen to are actually freestyle.
Wow, it's freestyle. That's a word. Can you do a
Hmm.
freestyle right now for us?
Um,
Or I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Maybe next time
Okay,
I come around, I'll
okay,
do that.
okay, okay, okay. That'd be awesome. Okay, and uh, excuse me. Okay. And you talked about, the victory to walk earlier, but if somebody wants, if they call you, do you rescue people too from the domestic relationship, or they had to come to you?
Okay, you were breaking up a little bit. If people what?
Okay, okay, okay. You talked about victory walk earlier, and if somebody
Yes,
wants out of the relationship, do you rescue anybody or not? Or they have to?
I have. I have.
Yes.
I have. But it's something that we usually plan out and all so that the person, um, to make sure that they can totally get them and the children, if children are involved, safely as possible. We try to plan it. If there's an emergency situation, it takes some drastic moving around. So I have to make sure that everything's in place. But yes, I have done that.
Okay. That, thank you. That is awesome. And I should what the word I should commend you for all you're doing, and for
Thank
the
you.
victim survivors, and for the homeless, and for all of them.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. And somebody's coming in now. If anybody new coming in here now, what do you need? You already said I know that they can donate to you, but what do you need the most for donations for the victory walk?
Money, as always,
Okay.
money is always. But if they hit me up in Messenger on Facebook, I can give them a list of things that we do accept. That I'm actually in the process of going on Amazon and making a list that I can share with people.
Hmm. Okay, that is awesome. Okay, and uh, anyone out there has any questions you want to ask Honey? Um, wow. Um, is there anything you would like to talk about, Honey?
I just want to say thank you to the poetic community that has supported me all these years. Um, and just thank you for this opportunity to give me a chance to come and share about me and what I do.
Hmm. Okay.
And if anybody has any questions afterwards, more than welcome to hit me up on Facebook and Messenger or any other social media that you might happen to be on.
Okay. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Um, mhm. uh, um, mhm. uh, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite author
My favorite author?
or poet or poet? Either one.
Oh gosh, there's so many out there, Noreen. Why you make want to try to make me? I really don't have favorites. I have people that grab me, if that makes sense. Tribal Rain with a Sinner's Prayer. Um, I love that piece. It gives such a
Oh,
different
yes.
perspective on that and everything. she's just that piece. I love Georgia Me because she is raw and rough, and she hits you right straight. She doesn't take any and all. I love some of your work and all. Yours is a smoother, calmer type of poetry. I mean, Eddie Oliver, um, Quiet Storm. I mean, the
Yes,
list just Max Parthas. I mean, the list just goes on and on. There are just too many phenomenal poets out there for me. I feel like to have a favorite. I just, like I said, uh, just so many that I love.
yes. Wow. Okay. And what advice would you give to anyone who's new at writing or writing poetry? What advice would you give to the novices?
Uh, Anybody that's just started to write poetry, don't listen to each and every. Don't listen to a bunch of other people trying to put you in a box. Write the way you feel to write. It's about you. If you don't
Mhm.
do your poetry for yourself, I mean, you can sit there and say you're doing it for this person, that person, but it's not going to be as good as if you just do it for yourself. And if people love it, they love it, you know. And just don't let people put you in a box.
Mhm.
It's not about how many times you wrote that poem. I only have one poem I rewrote, and that's because somebody challenged me and pushed me to do it. And because for me, I'm an expressionist. When I rewrite and rewrite something, it loses a lot of that emotional rawness that it has in the beginning, and that's what I'm known for. So that's my style. It, because I stuck to who I am and was true to me, and that's what that means. I developed my own style. I don't. There's not another person that writes like me, and I don't write like anybody else. And that's what you want. You
Right.
don't want to be a carbon copy of somebody else.
Mhm. Okay. Um, okay. What would you, oh, uh, I'm trying to think of something now. You have anything else to say?
I guess it's about the end of our time, isn't it? I think somebody else in the poetry club has checked in, is watching with us. Um,
Yes.
but
Oh, there's two, three now. They're
uh,
coming on.
I just want to thank everybody. Even people that may come in later and see the replay wherever you posted at and everything. I hope that I said something that encouraged somebody else and everything to. Uh, when you can't talk to anybody, just grab that pen and paper or that laptop, that phone, and just let it out because it's going to come out some way or another. It's not a competition about who's the best poet and who, whatever. So it's a Facebook user apologizing for being late. Patricia,
Yep.
thank you, Patricia.
Yes. Patri-
So go
okay.
ahead.
Patricia. Okay. How does that work? Oh, okay. Now I got it off. I think. Yep, I got it off now. Okay. And okay. And okay. And cause we know that. Okay. Um. Um. And about your oils. If somebody wants to buy your oils, um, um, do you do different? You do different uh um
They can
different
find
kind.
all of that on my all of that is on my store, my coffee
Okay,
honey store.
that's okay.
I
Okay,
list everything up there.
okay, okay. Okay. And what are the uh the last words you would like to? You have anything to say to to the
Like I
audience?
said, um, thank you everybody for joining in and giving me this opportunity to share more about me and what I do.
Okay. And if anybody come here late, you can come. You can see the It'll be in the archive, so y'all can see it afterwards. And she is a phenomenal poet and a phenomenal um host and everything. She's
I don't like driving. You know what? I mean, we're from Canada, so we're used to this. So if you want
okay.
Oh,
And
so stupid.
hurry up.
and does anybody doesn't okay, does anyone have a question for her they want to ask before she goes? Okay. If you have anybody has a question, you can write it on the type it on the comments. We can see it right here.
And I hate to go, but I got to dip out. I've got another appointment that's pushing me and all.
Oh,
Because I told them I'd be finished at 8. I hate to run,
okay, okay. And
but
thank you, Honey, for coming by. And it's an honor to have you here. And
you too.
so thank you.
Thank you all.
Keep up the good works. You're welcome. Okay, okay, okay. And this is a conclusion to Have a Chat with Poet Noreen, episode 6 with guest Honey. We will be back on November 29th, 2022 with Nyla Alicia.
I'm trying to
Thank
get
you
it
very
because I can't end it until she finishes it, but her end.
much. Okay, okay. Thank you very much, Honey, for being a part of the show. It is an honor. I want to thank our audiences for being here this evening and taking time out of your life for us. I hope everyone enjoyed the show tonight. Remember to live your dreams. You're never too old or too young. I hope to see you all next month, this coming month, um, on November 29th, 2022, on Tuesday. Okay. Have a great night and a great week, everyone. God bless each one of you all. God loves you, and so do I. You have been watching Have a Chat with Poet Noreen, your host, Noreen Snyder, and guest, Honey. Thank you all. This is a conclusion. Okay.